Often in the field of international development, it is easy to be discouraged. We face so many challenges: global poverty, HIV/AIDS, malaria, growing illiteracy among women. All of these are daunting. Yet, I've always been an optimist, as are you. I think you have to be when you work in this field. And I do believe that every step each of us takes to address these problems puts us closer to ending them. And by working together, we can maximize each other's impact, moving the developing world forward at a quicker pace. Administrator Dervis said of the Initiative on Growing Inclusive Markets, quote, "The power of poor people to benefit from market activity lies in their ability to participate in markets and take advantage of market opportunities." This quote highlights a fundamental principle that is critical to lifting up the poor. As we heard just before, it's not enough to feed, clothe, and protect them. We must empower them to improve their own lives through economic advancement. As the chairwoman of the Appropriations Subcommittee responsible for the annual U.S. Foreign Aid Bill, I know that government can have a positive impact on economic development in the developing world, as can NGOs and international donors and organizations. In my travels with my colleagues, I have seen firsthand the critical contributions of the private sector toward this effort. And in my judgment, the private sector's core role is creating opportunity, improving economies, creating jobs, acting as an engine of innovation. Government then in turn must enable the poor to take advantage of those opportunities. And I believe the most important way that we can do so is ensuring access to basic education around the world. The next Bill Gates or Steve Jobs could be living in the favelas of Brazil, but she will not realize her potential without a solid education. Yet today, at least 77 million children of primary school age are not in school. Half of school-age children who start primary school drop out. Hundreds of millions more are denied a secondary school education. If we visited, many of us have visited conflict zones, and you really worry, unless we focus like a laser beam on those young people, that you're really going to lose a whole generation of kids and leaders in those areas. At a shelter I visited last year in Prayas, India, the power of education was evident. Workers at this shelter literally rescue young, poor girls who are at risk of being coerced into trafficking. And they are given the opportunity to build a brighter future for themselves and their families. Through education programs, vocational training, they learn skills that allow them to pursue jobs, participate in the local economy, and help build stronger communities. No country has reached sustained economic growth without achieving near universal primary education. Education is the foundation for sound governance, strong institutions, and it is the cornerstone for sustained economic growth. It gives the poor the tools to participate in the economy as members of the workforce and breadwinners for their families. They also become informed consumers who are empowered to make sound decisions for their families and put money back into their economies. As individuals and families thrive, businesses also gain a more skilled workforce that enables them to increase production and profits and make greater investments in the developing world. In 2000, the United States joined 170 nations in committing to the goal of universal basic education by 2015. Since 2001, I've been working with my colleagues to tirelessly increase funding for basic education from $100 million in fiscal year 2001 to $700 million in fiscal year 2008. Now, I almost hate to take pride in that because you and I know it's going to take billions to do the job that we have to do. USAID and UNDP already work closely together in pursuit of providing a basic education to as many children as possible. And I believe the benefits of these efforts and the investments of the private sector are evident in the report UNDP is launching today. The stories are truly inspiring. A businesswoman in Mauritania changed the face of the dairy industry in the country, provided higher incomes to over 1,000 employees. In the Kibera slum in Kenya, a nurse's healthcare model ensures better and more affordable care for slum dwellers. And I'll never forget a project in Tanzania to see these women making cheese and other related projects. Women who never had an opportunity to make any money. They stood taller. They felt stronger. They knew that they could make decisions in their family because of their own economic prosperity. Probably one of the most exciting projects I've seen. These success cases demonstrate the effectiveness of pro-poor growth in some of the poorest countries in the world. They showcase ingenuity at its best. They prove that doing business with the poor can not only improve their lives, it can bolster profits for businesses. We've come a long way, but boy, do we have a long way to go. We still have over 70 million young people remaining unemployed. 80% of them are in developing countries or economies in transition. Some lack basic education. However, many of these youth are educated, but often with the wrong skills for the marketplace. One of the most frustrating experiences for many poor families in the developing world is to save for years and years, sacrifice to send their children to school, only to have them struggle to find jobs after graduation.